Here are the top stories for today, December 2, 2019. The Philippines takes the early lead in the medal tally of the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Malacanang congratulates the organizers and all those involved in the opening ceremony of the SEA Games. PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar expresses support for the church's efforts to address malnutrition as he was recognized as among the outstanding alumni of the Ateneo de Cagayan. And the Philippines is hailed as the world's leading dive destination in the 2019 World Travel Awards. Good day, I'm Rom Dulfo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story, the Philippines seeing triumph early in the Southeast Asian Games as the country adds more gold in its medal haul in the regional sports showcase. The dance sports and arnis came out with most brilliant performance as well as triathlon and sepak takraw. Pair Sean Aranar and Ana Nualia collected 3 golds in open standard, single dance tango and dance Venise, while another couple, Mark Jason Gayon and Mary Joy Renigen, snatched the golds in single slow foxtrot and dance waltz of the dance sports competition at Royce Hotel in Clark, Pampanga. 2 more couples, Michael Angelo Marquez and Stephanie Sabalo, and Wilbert Ayonzo and Pearl Marie Caneda were also unstoppable in open Latin category, winning 2 and 3 gold medals each. The Philippines' gold medals in arnis were won by Dexler Bolambao in men's live stick bantamweight, Nino Mark Teledo in featherweight, Villardo Kunamay in lightweight, and Mike Banyares in welterweight. Filipino triathletes bagged the game's first 2 gold medals, while the Philippine sepak takraw team completed a twin kill in hoop events. World champion gymnast Carlos Yulo lived up to expectation, winning the individual all-around event of the men's artistic gymnastics. Agatha Wong proved a class over the rest, retaining the gold medal in the Taolu Taijiquan event of Wushu at the World Trade Center in Manila. Here's the latest in the Southeast Asian Games medal tally. Malacanang praised the organizers, volunteers, and the other people who made a job exceedingly done in organizing the formal launch of the 30th Southeast Asian Games at the Philippine Arena on Saturday night. President Duterte, along with thousands of Filipino spectators, swayed to the beat of the iconic song Manila by Filipino band Hot Dog, which was played during the parade of more than 1,000 Philippine athletes competing for the SEA Games. During the opening ceremony, Fiscal Chair and House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano assured the 11 participating countries that we build as one, we work as one, and we win as one, as he said. Presidential spokesperson Sal Panelo believed the Philippine SEA Games Organizing Committee treated the spectators to grandiose opening rites that officially kicked off the 11-day multi-sports event. He said the formal launch impressed the global audience with the country's impressive stage design and production, mesmerizing fireworks display, and Filipino talent's world-class performances. Panelo said the president was happy with the preparations made by the organizers. The Philippine National Police said no untoward incident was reported during the much-anticipated opening of the 30th Southeast Asian Games. PNP Officer in Charge Lieutenant General Archie Gamboa said tight PNP security remains in full force in cooperation with the Philippine SEA Games Organizational Committee, even as they continue to express full support to all Filipino athletes. Gamboa said the PNP remains alert and vigilant to prevent occurrence of crimes and implement security contingency plans in case Typhoon Tisoy will affect the scheduled games. A total of 19,767 police officers and government personnel have been deployed to ensure the country's smooth hosting of the prestigious sports event. President Duterte has yet to announce the replacement of Philippine Army Chief Lieutenant General Macairog Alberto, who will bow out of service upon reaching the mandatory military retirement age of 56 on Friday. AFP spokesperson, Marine Brigadier General Edgar Arevalo, said the Board of Generals has forwarded a short list of Alberto's possible successors to President Duterte through Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. He said the formal announcement of the next Army Chief may happen this week. Meanwhile, the Philippine Military Academy in Fort del Pilar, Baguio City, has conducted a testimonial parade and review in honor of Alberto on Sunday. The outgoing PA chief is a member of the PMA class of 1986. Alberto also led the unveiling of the Army Laboratory, which will be used by cadets who will be joining the biggest branch of the AFP upon their graduation. The Presidential Task Force on Media Security, or PT Forms, vows to seek justice for the slain broadcaster June Caballero. And the Philippine National Police honors the policeman who died from a grenade blast in Misamis Oriental. More on this from Bench Bondo.
The SM Development Corporation and law enforcement agencies forged a partnership to stop the use of high-end condominium units as drug dens by syndicates. SMDC said one of the arrangements they made with the government's law enforcement agencies is to coordinate for any anti-illegal drug operations that will be undertaken within their premises. This will provide law enforcers the clearance to go inside the target units from the security managers and conduct the operations without interference from existing SMDC security protocols. In other news, the PNP is recommending to give the posthumous award of Medalya ng Kadakilaan in recognition of Police Master Sergeant James Magno's heroic death. Magno died after using his body to shield the crowd from a grenade blast inside a college campus in Initaw, Misamis Oriental. The surviving kin of Magno will receive death benefits, which include 250,000 pesos from the President's Social Fund, 141,000 pesos from the Special Financial Assistance from the PNP, burial benefits worth 50,000 pesos, and 200,000 pesos gratuity from the National Police Commission. Meanwhile, broadcaster Benji Caballero of Radio Ni 1 FM station based in Tacorong City, Sultan Kudarat, passed away at past 3 a.m. Sunday while being treated at the Southern Philippines Medical Center. Caballero succumbed to multiple gunshot wounds in a sleigh trial last October 30 in Tacorong City. The Presidential Task Force on Media Security vowed to seek justice for what happened to Caballero and said that it will help to identify the cowards who shot him. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondo.
Still to come, the PCOO expresses support for the church's efforts to address malnutrition. Baguio City holds a parade signaling the start of the city's Christmas celebration. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Pilipinas, mayroon na tayong magandang facility. Suportahan natin ang ating mga atleta para sa karangalan ng ating bansa. We win as one.
Presidential Communications Operations Office Secretary Martin Andanar paid a courtesy call on Cagayan de Oro City Archbishop Antonio Ledesma, where they discussed possible programs to address malnutrition among children and mothers, especially in conflict-ridden areas. Andanar said the government can learn a thing or two from the feeding program being implemented by the Archdiocese of Cagayan de Oro. Citing poverty as one of the root causes of insurgency in the region, Andanar also bared plans to partner with non-government organizations and the private sector in carrying out anti-insurgency measures. Andanar, who is also Northern Mindanao's Cabinet Officer for Regional Development and Security, has repeatedly emphasized the importance of Executive Order 70, or the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, which requires a whole-of-nation approach in solving insurgency. Andanar said the Regional Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or RTF-LCAC, is set to meet with the city's Archdiocese on December 13 during their quarterly meeting. Meanwhile, the Presidential Communications Chief was lauded as one of the outstanding alumni of the Xavier University Ateneo de Cagayan on Friday, November 29. Andanar expressed his thanks to the Ateneo de Cagayan Alumni Association for giving him the recognition of Outstanding Alumnus Award for Professional Service in Communication. The local government of Cotabato City has earned the most coveted Presidential Child-Friendly Award in recognition of its programs for the welfare of children in the city. Mayor Cynthia Gianni Sayadi received the recognition during awarding ceremonies last Friday in Malacanang. Sayadi said Cotabato was the lone city in Mindanao that earned the award and one of only 4 in the first-class cities category, including Naga City, Ormoc City, and Dagupan City. Sayadi said the programs and activities for the welfare of children, especially on education and health, have paid off. The city government received a 500,000 peso cash award to be used to undertake more programs for the welfare of children. Monetary officials have forecast inflation in November to hit between 0.9 to 1.7%. This range is higher than the 0.8% inflation rate last October, but way lower than the 6% in November last year. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas projected that domestic inflation might have bottomed out last October. In turn, it expected the November inflation to be driven by higher electricity rates, prices of gasoline, liquefied petroleum gas, and selected food items. Meanwhile, inflation could be tempered by lower domestic rice prices and the appreciation of the peso. The average inflation rate in the first 10 months this year stood at 2.6%, at the lower half of the government's 2 to 4% target until 2021. During the rate-setting meeting of the BSP Monetary Board last November 14, the board slashed its 2019 average inflation forecast to 2.4% from 2.5%. The 2020 and 2021 average inflation forecast was kept at 2.9%. The areas where communist rebels operate in the Caraga and northern Mindanao are dwindling after losing thousands of its members in recent months. Major General Franco Nemesio Gacal, commander of the Army's 4th Infantry Division, said close to 5,000 NPA fighters and supporters returned to the fold of law, while several of them were killed from January to November of this year. He said the rejection of the NPA by tribal leaders also contributed to the support for the insurgents in remote communities. The Army held last Thursday the demilitarization of surrendered firearms and awarding of 2.8 million peso assistance to former rebels under the Enhanced Local Integration Program. Gacal said the destruction of the firearms is part of the commitment of the former rebels to walk the path of peace. Baguio City kickstarts its annual Christmas celebration, and police in Pangasinan distribute gifts to underprivileged children. More on these and other news from the provinces from Janice Cabe.
Preschool kids aged 2 to 5 years old paraded along Session and Harrison Roads in Baguio City on Sunday for the annual Children's Mardi Gras. Children and their parents donned Christmas outfits such as Santa Claus, shepherds, angels, the wise men, Christmas balls, and cards, among others. The activity launched the 46th Silais ng Pasko and start of the annual Christmas in Baguio celebration. In Misamis Oriental, the 25-meter torch tower in Villanueva town was lit up on Sunday to mark the beginning of holiday season and the municipality's month-long Pasiga 2019 Lights Festival. Locally known as Sulo, the 6 million peso torch tower is a first in northern Mindanao. The lighting of the torch will also be the start of Pascolandia 2019, a makeover competition of each village and school and various musical performances. In Pangasinan, the San Carlos City Police Station distributed school supplies and started a feeding program for over 40 children who are underprivileged or with special needs. The activity was part of the Mamaliketya Panangaro Tan Serbisyo Patrol project held on November 21. It is also in line with the celebration of the National Children's Month. The San Carlos City PNP, under the leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Gary Noel Pascua, will extend the program to other children in the city on a monthly basis. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, the Philippines is hailed as the world's leading dive destination in the 2019 World Travel Awards, and thousands of residents are ordered evacuated as Typhoon Tisoy approaches Albay. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Sa CAT, wala naman pong sinabing kailangan po ng gender preference para po makasali sa CAT. And wala rin naman pong nare-require na sexuality para po makatulong sa komunidad. Ako po si Rainiel Cruz, 15 years old, from Santolan High School, and currently I am taking and training of citizenship advancement training. Yung pag-CAT ko po, pinili ko po siyang mag-training ng CAT dahil po marami rin po kasi nagsasabi sa akin na kakilala ko pong bakla na di po sila magte-take ng training dahil daw po sa gender preference nila. Pero ako po, nag-take po ako ng training dahil gusto ko rin pong matutunan yung mga basic na pinag-aaralan sa citizenship advancement training po. Hindi naman po ako natakot na sumunod sa patakaran nila, and yung military training po na sinasabi dito, never naman pong makaka-apekto sa akin yun, and kaya ko naman pong gawin kahit mag-military training po. Katulad ko po nagtitake po ng CAT. If ever po na mag-ROTC po ako sa senior high, may alam na po ako sa basic military needs and drills po na pwede rin po namin gawin sa ROTC. Bilang nagtitake po ako ng CAT, napag-aaralan din po namin yung tamang pakikipagsalamuha sa iba pong tao. And yung training po na ginagawa po namin, hindi lang po siya para dahil po required, kundi po para rin po mapag-aralan po yung pwede rin po namin gagawin sa ROTC pag nag-senior high po kami. Doon po sa mga nag-aakalang mahirap, yung mga sumasalungat po sa ROTC, tandaan lang po natin, ROTC will definitely benefit young Filipinos and teach us patriotism. And it will help our country to be prepared. Siyempre po, bilang isa pong estudyante, wala naman pong ibang mga ngalaga po sa bansa natin kundi tayo lang pong mamamayan ng Pilipinas. Kaya sa pamamagitan po ng CAT, magkakaroon po tayo ng kaalaman about sa ROTC po. And can we just devotedly serve our motherland and offer our own lives to serve our country no matter what our gender preference is? The important is, how can you help your country?
The Philippines was hailed as the world's leading diving destination of the 2019 World Travel Awards. During the WTA Grand Final Gala ceremony held recently in Oman, the Philippines prevailed over 8 other powerhouses, including the 4-time and previous title holder Maldives. Palawan's prestigious Amanpulo Resort also emerged victorious as the world's leading dive resort at the gala event. In a statement, Tourism Secretary Berna Romulupuyat said the award affirms that the Philippines is the heart of marine biodiversity, which makes it a premier dive destination. Last October, the WTA held its gala event for Asia and Oceania in Vietnam, where the Philippines earned its first Asia's leading dive destination award. The DOT was also recognized as Asia's leading tourism board for its efforts to increase visitor arrivals for the Philippines in the previous year. Meanwhile, Banwa Private Island in Palawan was hailed as this year's world's leading luxury private island resort. Men from all walks of life ran while wearing stilettos during the Tour de Tacong in Marikina City on Saturday. Teachers, athletes, law enforcement officers, and even foreigners sprinted the 550-meter stretch of Shoe Avenue, starting at the Marikina Clock Tower and finishing in front of the DepEd Marikina office. The registration was free, and runners have to exclusively wear stiletto shoes made in Marikina. Before the race, a Zumbaleto, where people danced Zumba while wearing stilettos, was held at the Marikina Clock Tower. Mayor Marcelino Teodoro underscored the importance of women empowerment during the annual race, which has been held since 2013. The event, which is part of Marikina's annual Zapatos Festival, aims to promote gender equality as well as the city's shoe industry. The city government continues to promote locally made and world-class footwear products by having the annual festival as a form of support to micro and small manufacturers in Marikina. The Armed Forces also alerted all of its humanitarian aid disaster response units to aid efforts to mitigate the effects of Typhoon Tisoy. AFP spokesperson Edgar Arevalo said this includes the Southern Luzon Command's disaster response task units from the Army, Navy, and Air Force. AFP Chief of Staff General Noel Clement has activated the battle staff of the General Headquarters in Camp Aguinaldo to monitor the typhoon and to render immediate assistance as needed. Clement also ordered AFP units to coordinate closely with the Office of Civil Defense or OCD, the NDRRMC, and local governments. He also appealed to affected residents to evacuate when advised to do so. Authorities in Albay have started to evacuate over 100,000 residents on Sunday in anticipation of heavy rains brought by Typhoon Tisoy. Albay Governor Al Francis Bichara, chair of the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, ordered the 18 local disaster councils to mobilize evacuation procedures until Monday afternoon. He ordered a mandatory evacuation of all residents living along low-lying areas, especially those in the river channels that connect to the slopes of Mayon volcano. This is to prevent a repeat of the lahar and mudflow brought by Super Typhoon Reming, which killed thousands in 2006. Nearly half of the 58,000 families at risk due to flooding in the province are vulnerable to lahar and mudflows. Malacanang is urging Filipinos to brace for Typhoon Tisoy, which is expected to make landfall in Catanduanes Monday night and cross the regions of Bicol and Calabarzon. Presidential spokesperson Sal Panelo assured that the Office of the President, or OP, is monitoring areas likely to be hit by the typhoon. He also asked the public to coordinate with their local disaster and risk reduction management offices for appropriate and responsive action. Let's check out the weather forecasts from Pagasa.
Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat at nato po ang ating update sa bagyong Tisoy. At kasalukuyan po yung eye wall ng bagyong Tisoy ay tumatama na po sa may Northern Samar. At yung eye wall ay ito'y nagdadala ng malakas na hangin at malakas na pag-ulan. Itong mga makakapal na kaulapan ay nandito na po sa bandang Eastern Visayas at sa ilang bahagi ng Bicol Region. At kanina alas 4 ng hapon, ang layo ng mata ng bagyong Tisoy ay nasa 155 kilometers silangan ng Juban, Sorsogon. Lumakas ang bagyong Tisoy from 150 kilometers per hour. Ngayon po ay nasa 155 kilometers per hour. Ito yung lakas na hangin malapit sa gitna ng bagyo o malapit sa mata ng bagyo. At inaasahan pa rin natin gagalaw ito o kikilos pakanluran sa bilis na 15 kilometers per hour. At within 24 hours, ay asahan pa rin natin yung malalakas na pag-ulan at malalakas na hangin. Base sa ating forecast track, ay within 24 hours ay nasa inland yung sentro o yung mata ng bagyong Tisoy. Ito yung mga lugar po na sa ilalim ng Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 3. Ito ay nasa Catanduanes, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon, Camarines Norte, Masbate, kasama Ticao at Burias Island, Romblon, southern portion ng Quezon, Marinduque. And then sa Visayas, meron pong signal number 3 sa Northern Samar, yung po kasalukuyan tumatama po yung eye wall, northern portion ng Eastern Samar, and then northern portion ng Samar. And then signal number 2, ang mga lugar po na sa ilalim ng signal number 2 ay Metro Manila, Bulacan, Bataan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Southern Aurora. Ang mga lugar po ay Dipaculao, Maria Aurora, Baler, San Luis at Dingalan, Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, Rizal, rest of Quezon kasama Pulilo Islands, Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, Calamian Islands at Zambales. Signal number 2 pa rin sa Visayas, ang mga lugar po ay rest of Eastern Samar, rest of Samar, Biliran, Aklan, Capiz, Antique, northern portion ng Negros Occidental, Northern Cebu, northern portion ng Leyte, and then yung Guimaras. And then signal number 1, Southern Isabela. And then Mountain Province ay nasa ilalim ng signal number 1, Ifugao, Benguet, Nueva Vizcaya, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Quirino at yung rest of Aurora. Rest of Negros Occidental, Metro Cebu, rest of Leyte at Southern Leyte, and Dinagat Island and Siargao Island.
Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The Philippines takes the early lead in the medal tally of the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Malacanang congratulates the organizers and all those involved in the opening ceremony of the SEA Games. PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar expresses support for the church's efforts to address malnutrition as he was recognized as among the outstanding alumni of the Ateneo de Cagayan. And the Philippines is hailed as the world's leading dive destination in the 2019 World Travel Awards. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or follow the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more news about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags on all our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IVC 13. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Rom Dulfo. Good day.